Hello, my name is Allison Carmen, and welcome to my podcast, 10 Minutes to Less Suffering. Thank you so much for all the emails and the comments regarding the podcast, and I hope to hear from more of you in the future. Today, I'd like to discuss the idea of positive thinking. I'm sure many of you, when you were having a problem or you were worried about something, you heard from a friend or a family member that you should just stay positive and things will work out. Or you might have read it in a book or even heard it on a podcast. If you have positive thoughts, positive things will happen. If you have positive thoughts, you could find the strength and resilience to achieve your goals. If you have positive thoughts, you could start a successful business, meet someone new, make more money, and whatever you do, don't engage in negative thinking. While I appreciate positive thinking and its potential results, it's just not that easy for some of us. People who are able to stay positive no matter what usually have some type of faith, maybe in God, the universe, or just life itself. Others have a strong mind and can be disciplined to hold their positive thoughts regardless of what happens. But positive thinking can be tough. Many of us find the road of positive thinking is bumpy, and we are often inconsistent with our ability to stay positive. We try to engage in positive thinking, and it could work well for a while, but then something unexpected happens, or things don't work out as we planned, and we could feel afraid and negative. Some people suppress the negative thoughts and try to carry on, and others just give in to the fear and negative thoughts and start to believe they can no longer achieve their goals, and things are just not working out. Those of us who struggle with the idea of positive thinking are usually afraid of the unknown. The minute something does not go as planned, our fear of what will happen next usually overtakes positive thinking. It becomes a battle between our fear and our positive thoughts, and unfortunately for many, fear often wins. Even knowing this about ourselves, most of us wake up in the morning and try to be positive. We set our intentions and our goals for the day, and we feel really good about everything. But then we might go to work and spill coffee on our shirt, and we realize it's just a shirt and there's no reason to stop being positive about our day. But then a client we thought we were going to land goes with a competitor, and our boss is really unhappy about the presentation that we made for another potential client. We could have an argument with our spouse, and our child gets a C on their math test. All of a sudden, the day that we thought we would have is unraveling, and our thoughts start to slip. And if uncertainty makes you uncomfortable, you'll probably start to believe that when something doesn't go right, this means that things are on the wrong track and things can't get better. Your mind can suddenly drift into negative thinking, and you start projecting today's events into the future. You might think just because you lost that client, you're never going to get another one like that. Your boss will never be happy with you again. Your spouse will be very angry at you when you get home, and your child probably won't get into a good college. You believe you know what today's events means for your future. By the end of the day, there's no positive thinking. You become negative, stressed, and worried that life's not working out in your favor. You wake up the next day feeling stressed and worried, but you try again to stay positive. But it's hard to hold because the minute something does not change, get better, or something new happens that you don't like, your fear of the unknown takes over. Does any of this sound familiar? Now, my example might seem extreme to some because so many things are happening in one day. But if we are honest with ourselves, many of us project our worst fears into the future all the time about our jobs, our relationships, our children, our health. The minute one thing goes wrong, it's very hard for us to hold our positive thoughts. We start to believe that that situation can't get better, and we start to worry about what it will look like in our future. Now, again, if you're someone who could stay positive, then you're on the best track of them all. And for everyone else that struggles with positive thinking, you know what I'm going to say right now. The mindset of maybe is one of the best tools to stay on the path of positive thinking. The reason why maybe is the best mindset for positive thinking is because when something we don't like happens, maybe reminds us that what is happening is not permanent. Maybe reminds us that we don't know the future. And because we don't know the future, this means things can change. Can things change and get worse? Yes. But things could also change and get better too. Maybe reminds us of this, and it gives us hope. And this hope helps us stay positive. It helps us set our intentions, hold our goals, and stay on our path. So going back to my example, with the maybe mindset, we don't start unraveling the minute we don't get that client. our boss is unhappy with us, or our child gets a C on their test, we immediately don't feel as rigid or fixed in how things need to be for things to be okay. Instead of thinking, I didn't get that client and things are bad, it's never going to change, we could recognize that this is an experience outside of us. We could see the fact that we're still okay. We might not be happy about the experience, but it is what it is. And we could also recognize, thank goodness we don't know what's going to happen next. And because we don't know, maybe not getting that client was good. Or maybe it's bad, but you'll recover. Or maybe you'll get a better client. Or maybe you need to change your strategy. Maybe your boss will like your next presentation. You also realize that maybe your child had a bad day at school. Or maybe your child needs to study more. Or maybe they'll be okay even if they get a C in math. It just allows you to take a broader look at the future. The mindset allows us to come back to the moment with more ease and hope, instead of projecting all this negativity and fear into the future. But with maybe we get to reevaluate. We get to honestly look at what life is offering us in the moment. Maybe we'll still want to move forward, or maybe it's best that we take things in another direction. When we open up to life, life opens up to us. So maybe thinkers can be positive thinkers. And I actually think embracing maybe is the key for a lot of people to stay positive. It's just about creating maybe statements that give you a platform. There's a great exercise I talked about in some prior podcasts, including the first podcast, The Gift of Maybe, if you want to check it out. But today, let's just talk about finding a maybe statement or a maybe mantra. With practice, you're going to find a few that just shift you immediately from fear to hope. Here are a few of my favorites. Maybe this is for the best. Maybe I needed this to happen to make some changes in my life. Maybe things will get better. Maybe there is something else out there for me. Maybe there are more possibilities. Maybe everything is still okay. This is always my favorite. It just allows me to recognize whatever is happening is not what I expected, but maybe I could still handle it. Maybe I could still make something of it. And if I can't figure it out, maybe something else will happen. I always remember, if I have breath, I have maybe. I think most of us would love to be positive thinkers. But when life kind of takes us in the wrong direction and things are just not working out as planned, it's hard to hold positive thoughts because we're afraid that life can't get better and we're not going to get back on the right road. We worry we're going to lose our job. We worry someone we love is not going to get better. We worry we won't have money to send our child to college. We're worried we won't have our job till we retire. And maybe allows us to recognize that when life is uncertain, that means new things are possible. And things can change and get better. And there's also the idea that maybe we could accept what's happening and everything will still be okay. I think with the practice of maybe, you will have less stress, you will have less worry, and you'll be more resilient. You will be more likely to start a business, change your job, start a new career, fall in love, feel positive about your child's future. You'll be more likely to hang in there when times get tough. Maybe doesn't say that you don't need to work hard, because sometimes hard work and determination is what it takes to succeed. Maybe it's just another tool in your toolbox when it's too hard to stay positive, when negativity creeps in, when you're afraid of the unknown. And maybe will often bring you back to positive thinking. You just need to find the maybe statements that work for you. Try to find a maybe statement that unhooks you from the fear, that unhooks you from the pain. Whatever maybe statement helps you realize that what is ever happening today will change. And if you don't know where it's going, that means it still has the possibility to improve. So thank you so much for listening to my podcast today. If you're interested in reading more of my work, you could check out my website at AllisonCarmen.com. Or you could buy my book, The Gift of Maybe, which is available in all major bookstores and online retailers. I hope you will integrate some maybe into your life, especially if the unknown scares you and you want to be more positive. It is possible that over time you will become more comfortable with uncertainty and you won't need to use maybe anymore. You will be a positive thinker. Until then, let maybe give you a platform to help you stay positive and not allow negativity to take over. Allow maybe to help you process your feelings. Allow you to get to know yourself better, to really engage in the unknown and figure out what you want and make your life more abundant, joyful, and make the most out of every moment.